1984 M923A1 Walkaround. The difference between the A1s, well, the A0, A1, and A2s is the original A0 ones had 11 by 20 tires with duals in the rear, basically kind of semi-tire. The A1s got 14 by 20s, and the A2s got upgraded 8.3 liter Cummins. This one has the NHC 250. It's a 14 liter non-turboed Cummins, 260 horsepower, 635 pound-feet of torque, I think, something like that. But these trucks are pretty sweet. They're not fast by any means. The A1s get about 5 miles per gallon. The A2s get quite a bit better just because they're more efficient. They're a lot quieter. They have a turbo. But you can pick these trucks up at auction sometimes. Most of the government ones have been sold already, so now they're mostly all in civilian hands. I use this one for hauling hay and getting groceries. Really nothing exciting. I just kind of drive it around because I like it. These are 6-wheel drive, but they're only the rear axles turn until you engage the transfer case, and then the front axle will help out. I believe they have 644 gears in the axles. This one does not have locking diffs. Some of the Marine Corps versions do, and most of the tractor versions for pulling trailers do. But this has a 5-speed Allison automatic transmission. Mine's kind of dirty because I've been driving it. But there's a 5-speed. Nothing too exciting. You can manually shift it, or you can just put it in the 1.5 and it'll just kind of shift for you, but it shifts a little earlier than you want, so it's just better to manually shift it. This one has a soft top. They're alright. The hard top ones are really the ones you want. Pretty basic inside. Not a lot to them. You can fold the windshields out, but you know, pretty basic. This one has ABS. These didn't have ABS from the start, and they have a big issue, the ones without ABS, with locking up the rear tires and shutting the engine off, and then they'd have a lot of rollovers. So when that was happening, the military wouldn't let you drive these over 40 mile an hour because they were pretty dangerous, and if you were caught doing over 40 miles an hour in one without ABS, you were screwed. This one was retrofitted with ABS, and that's why it has a sticker here. That way when officers or whoever are driving by, and if they see you hauling ass and you don't have the ABS sticker, you're gonna get your ass handed to you. The ABS does work. I've tested it in the snow. This has like a 80-gallon fuel tank just on the one side. 5-ton Rockwells, pretty beefy. This one only has 5,000 miles on it. This came from Wisconsin National Guard. It was a headquarters battalion. So they never really abused it because they don't do anything. The only thing that's really not original on this is the smokestack. The one I had on it broke off, so we put on a better 5-inch. Still has the data plates and all that here. Weighs about 22,000 pounds. We'll open the hood. These hoods are pretty heavy, so they have this bar system here. Kind of hard to do one-handed. Alright, now the hood's open. But as you can see, big old 14 liter. These ones are all right. It's small cam, 250, as you can see, no turbo. You can add turbo to these, and I plan to. You just can't get too crazy because they don't have oil squirters. And without oil squirters, you get your pistons pretty hot. The oil squirters basically squirt oil on the underside of your piston as it's going up and down, and keep it cool. But as long as you run an EGT gauge, you can keep your temps under control if you're turboed. Seems like most guys run about 8 to 10 psi on these when they convert them. So eventually I'll get there. But for now, it's nice and slow. Doesn't like to crawl hills very fast, but that's okay. A lot of guys buy these just for the hell of it, because why not? But a lot of those guys also don't ever deal with big trucks, so what people need to do is drain the damn air tanks. There's a lot of issues, and you see it all over the forums and Facebook about people's air dryers. The first time it's cold, their air dryers are locked up and they just can't get the truck rolling. They have all these issues, and it's because they don't drain their tanks. So this is where you drain the tanks to get all the moisture out of the air lines, and you have to do it in a certain order. So you start with this one. There's no air in the system right now, but you do 1, 2, 3, and 4. And that'll get your moisture out of your air lines. If you do it in a different order, moisture will become trapped. But you need to drain those every time you drive it, or else you might have issues down the road. We'll do a cold start video, just for the hell of it. It's about 15 degrees out here. These do have a little ether injector right here. You push that button and it will inject a little starting fluid into your intake, but we'll see if she lights up. There's a proper way to start these and shut these off. If you do it wrong, you'll burn out your solenoids, and a lot of people have that issue. So power first. This is your starter, and then when you shut it off, when it's running, you have to do this one first. If you do this one first, if you shut off your battery, the truck will stay running, but you'll fry your starting solenoids. Well, we'll see. We'll start her up. Has alarms for low air because it doesn't have any air on right now. Oh, she's cold. Cranked over a little slow, but she's still fired. Well, there you have it. M923A1 Walkaround.